Welcome to the wild city of Anchorage. Like all urban jungles, this is a city plagued by thieves and petty crime. But here in Anchorage, the culprits aren't human, they're wild animals. This unique Arctic metropolis is home to 5 wild wolf packs, hundreds of bears, and over 2,000 moose. With so many animals living in the city, they often get themselves into trouble. Luckily for them, help is never far away. In Anchorage, people are working hard to protect their animal neighbors, trying to keep them safe in this truly wild city. Alaska, the last frontier. It is one of the toughest places on Earth. But this unspoiled wilderness is home to some of the most extraordinary animals in the world. With an estimated 11,000 wolves, 200,000 moose, and 32,000 brown bears, all the animals must fight Alaska's elements in order to survive. But they also face another growing threat. The city of Anchorage is expanding into their habitat, so the region's wildlife has many new challenges to overcome, some of which they can't face on their own. But luckily for the animals, help is at hand. Conserving the city's unique urban wildlife is vital to the people of Anchorage. And many organizations are working tirelessly to ensure every animal here has the protection they need. One of the biggest is the Alaska Conservation Center. They've rescued hundreds of orphaned and injured animals, many of which have been rehabilitated and released back into the wild, while some have remained here as permanent residents. The rangers make sure the animals' life here is as close as possible to a life in the wild. Moose, bears, and porcupines. Almost all of Alaska's animals can be found here, and each arrives with a different story.
There are a variety of reasons in which wildlife are sent into our care. Unfortunately, a lot of the wildlife have been injured in some capacity, and we're looking to do some sort of rehabilitation or recovery act and then in advance of a release. There are a number of other orphans where they had been either separated from their mother or unfortunately their mother had been killed. And we also see a number of wrongful domestication attempts where an animal would have been attemptedly brought in for simply a house pet purposes.
No matter how they end up here, they are all in safe hands. But working with these wild-born animals can be a difficult task. And just a few days ago, they received their latest challenge.
Behind me, we have our young Coyote pup. He doesn't quite have a name yet because he's been here for a very short amount of time, and we want to get to know his personality before we give him a name. He came here just a couple weeks ago. He was born on the Air Force Base in Anchorage. His mother had a den on the end of the runway there, and unfortunately, her and her pups were actually causing some flight issues for the planes landing and taking off. So he had to be trapped, and he was not old enough to survive on his own out in the wild.
It's thought the mother had moved her other young to a safer place, but having now been rescued, this pup will sadly have to remain in human care. In the wild, coyotes live in packs. They form strong family groups in which the adults teach the young how to hunt. Working as a team, coyotes use their keen sense of smell and incredible vision to track down food. Able to run at 65 kilometers per hour, they chase down their favorite prey with ease, Anchorage's dull sheep. But without his family to teach and protect him, this pup now has Chandelle to look after him. But looking after a nervous coyote pup is a huge challenge, as they still have all their wild instincts.
The process that we're going with him is just extremely slow, just really trying to take our time to get him comfortable with people and his surroundings. What we do first is we create an association with ourselves and food, to just try to make it so that when he sees us, he knows good things are coming from us. We start that by just every time we come in and sit with him, we bring him some food, we bring him treats. And we'll just sit on the side and allow him to, to come up and eat just really at his own pace, and not forcing him to do anything at all. And once we get him really comfortable with that process, we introduce my whistle. The whistle is just a bridge that gaps the distance between the behavior and the reward, in his terms, his food. And so when he hears that whistle, he's associated that whistle with food, and so he knows, okay, this is what they want me to do, and food is on its way.
And all this hard work is for a very special reason. Animals like this coyote pup will be used to help people understand more about their behavior, to help protect the wild populations. To do that, Chandelle needs to form a very close bond with the wild-born animals. But to gain the ultimate trust from a wily coyote, Chandelle will need to defy the near impossible.
Our next goals will be to actually get him to hopefully eat out of our hand. We hopefully will turn him into an animal that can be an education animal, an ambassador for his species. It could be months before we get to that point, but we just have to take it very slow with these guys and not push them so that they're not comfortable.
For Chandelle, this is the most rewarding moment of her job, when an animal finally trusts her every move.
I do love my job because I do get to see these animals that wouldn't survive if it wasn't for facilities like ours. So it is incredibly rewarding, especially an animal like this that is going to have a little bit of a slower start and be more of a challenge. When he gets to that point where we see that he's just more comfortable and is starting to trust us, it's going to be all that much more rewarding with him, and just to have the best life possible. I think that's why we're all here, and I just am so happy to be a part of it.
The staff would like all the animals to be able to live in the wild, but when it isn't possible, they work hard to create the best life for them here at the sanctuary. The center's oldest resident is testament to this. Meet Adonis.
He came to us in 1995 after being a gunshot victim. So he does have a full amputation on that left side where his full wing was amputated. He is at least 26 years old because he did come to us as an adult.
Unfortunately for the bald eagles of Anchorage, living alongside people comes with a number of risks.
Some of the regular risks that you would see would be caught in a trap, hit by a car, and really just running into man-made structures. So a lot of it, unfortunately, is human impact that they're going to have injuring them in the wild.
Sometimes the injuries bald eagles sustain can be minor, and they can be released back into the wild. But sadly, Adonis's injury means he'll have to spend the rest of his life at the center.
Adonis is considered non-releasable because that wing was fully amputated. He's considered non-flighted, so he wouldn't be able to be released back to the wild.
But Katie and the team worked tirelessly to keep Adonis entertained in an attempt to make his life at the conservation center as rich as it would be in the wild.
There's so many different things you can do for birds of prey. One of the biggest things that we do is use a phone book. So we can wrap that over one of his perches and he can tear it like he would be tearing at normal prey items in the wild. So it's really good enrichment, good stimulation for him. We can put different scents in here, different pelts, anything that's really interesting and intriguing for them to keep their mind going.
Bald eagles like Adonis are important educational birds to help the people of Anchorage learn how to live alongside them, so in time, fewer of these beautiful birds will be injured. But sometimes the bald eagles that are rescued just need a little bit of TLC before they can be returned to the wild. The Bird Treatment and Learning Center is a charity dedicated to the rehabilitation of sick or injured wild birds. Based in the center of the city, hundreds of cases come through their clinic doors every year. And today, they are preparing to release one of these iconic bald eagles who was brought into the center earlier this year.
The bald eagle came to us in April of this year, 2016. She was seen with another eagle and they locked talons in the air and got stuck and spiraled to the ground. And in the process, there was a few scuffles and minor abrasions and injuries. So both the eagles were brought to here to Bird TLC and we've been rehabbing them.
When they arrived at the treatment center, the birds were given a health check before being moved to the flight center to build up their strength. Both have healed well, and today, one is ready for re-release. Before they can take her to the release site, Guy and Amy give her one last checkup.
Over breakfast. Just looking for any signs of injury, just while she's been in holding for the night, just make sure she hasn't done any, injured herself in any way. Just checking the overall health of the bird. We'll load her into the box.
With all the checks complete, the bald eagle is ready to be loaded into her box to start her journey back to the wild. Amy and Guy hope that she will be strong enough to take flight in her new home. The release site is Potter's Marsh, one of the top wetland areas in Anchorage. Hundreds of birds make it their home, and it's the perfect place for this bald eagle. Amy and the team bring the bird to the release spot. Members of the public have been given the unique opportunity to help with the release. With the box in place, everyone is ready. Amy is hoping the eagle will fly straight out into its new home. To Amy's relief, she immediately takes flight. And in no time at all, the bird even finds a friend.
The release of the bald eagle went really well. It was very windy, but luckily, it took great flight and went over the crowd, and everyone always loves that, especially if they have to duck a bit. Hopefully, lives long and great life.
For Amy, seeing this incredible bird back in the wild, where it belongs, is what makes it all worthwhile.
It's amazing. It's just amazing, especially just seeing them up close, all that power, and they are majestic. Getting them back in the wild, that's why we do what we do.
But with more and more birds getting injured, the bird TLC needs more help. Luckily, a new shelter has recently been established. The Alaska Wild Bird Rehabilitation Center. They are now working alongside Bird TLC to give help to the city's orphaned birds. Today, an eagle hawk owl is being moved from Bird TLC to its new home at the Wild Bird Rehab Center.
The hawk owl came from Tok, Alaska a couple years ago. He had been injured and partially amputated his wing when he ran into the antenna of a car. So the lady that rescued him put him on a bus, had him shipped to Anchorage, and we named him Bus Token.
Unfortunately, the risk of being hit by a car is a constant threat for these city birds. Luckily for Bus Token, he found the help he needed and he is about to set off to his new home. Before being transferred, Dr. Doty and Dr. Higgs need to do some final checks and do a full examination of the bird.
I'm going to pull this left wing out. He has full extension, no swelling.
As Bus Token has an amputated wing, he will require special care in his new home.
Let's look at your bad wing. And here's his amputation stump. And that looks good. No wounds, nothing like that.
With the examination complete, Bus Token is ready to head to his new home, where he will have a very special job to do.
Yeah. Okay, he's just going to fly into there.
More or less.
As much as you can fly with an amputation.
The birds that we're permitted to use for education birds help teach the public about the birds that are local. A lot of people don't ever get to see the little saw-whet owls or the great horned owls or the red-tailed hawks. They know they're there, but they never get to see them. So these birds have injuries that make them non-releasable, and they're ambassadors for their species.
And every ambassador deserves a good home. So Bus Token will live in this specially designed enclosure. As he settles into the Wild Bird Center, his caretaker from TLC says goodbye. And for his new carer, her job is just beginning. But Dr. Doty knows there is a brighter future ahead for this little owl.
Everybody's very excited about it, so he's got a great future here.
When it comes to helping the animals of Anchorage, there's no shortage of help in this city that deeply cares about its wild neighbors. And one organization has been caring for the city's animal residents for over 4 decades. Alaska Zoo is the longest-running rescue center in Anchorage. Here, thousands of orphaned, injured, and captive-born animals have been cared for by the fantastic team of keepers.
The Alaska Zoo, ever since it's come to be a zoo, has taken in orphan animals. They stay here at the zoo, or we work with other zoos all over the world and place them there.
Right in the heart of the city, all kinds of animals are brought in from all over Alaska. And last night, 3 new babies arrived on Shannon's doorstep.
We've had lots of orphan otters, but these are the smallest ones we've ever had. I took them home at night so I could watch them at night and feed them through the night. And then finally, after about a week, they got to stay at the zoo. And this is actually their first morning after staying here all night long. It's just like being a mom to an infant. You guys are so cute.
Separated from their mother, the babies were seriously dehydrated. So since arriving at the zoo, Shannon and the keepers have had to bottle feed them day and night, just like an otter mum.
A guy was living in a cabin and an otter was living underneath his cabin, and every day when the dog would go outside, the guy's dog would go outside, the otter would jump out and attack the dog, and otters can be pretty ferocious. So he live trapped the otter and moved it far, far away from his cabin.
But what the man hadn't realized was that the otter was simply protecting its young.
And then he went to clean up the smell left behind by the otters. Lo and behold, he found a nest of otter babies. So, and it was too late to try to reunite them with mom because he had, transported mom far away.
Without their mum, these otters wouldn't last long in the wild. Their mother would teach them all the survival skills they need, from how to swim to how to catch their first fish. Now they rely on Shannon and her team. But these aren't the only orphans Shannon is caring for. She also has to be mum to a baby fox. The fox had a run-in with a dog and suffered a broken leg and was brought to the zoo to be rehabilitated. Today, Shannon is taking the fox to the vet to have its leg checked and see if the break has now mended. She has decided to take along the 3 otters to be examined. First up, the fox has its splint removed to be x-rayed.
They're looking at a radiograph of her humerus. They're just seeing what the stage of healing is and then, what action they need to take, whether they need to re-splint it or if the splint's not working, maybe do a surgery, that kind of thing.
Unfortunately, the leg hasn't healed as well as they'd hoped, so the vets need to apply another splint.
This little fox pup is pretty special. She's easy to manage. She knows we're trying to help, I think, and just, I think, glad to be feeling better.
With the fox's leg in its new cast, she can now rest as the otters are examined. They are weighed, given fluids, and even their urine is collected and checked. Unfortunately, one of the otters is found to have a complication, but luckily, it is in safe hands. In the wild, without their mother, they would not have survived, but with human help, hopefully the otters will continue on the road to recovery.
Luckily, we brought the otters to the vet too, along with the fox, because the littlest one has a urinary tract infection, so I'm gonna have to be bringing both of them home again to watch them through the night a little bit more. So we'll recheck them in a week and hopefully they'll make progress and everybody will be good.
Just 1 week later, the otters are recovering well, thanks to 24-hour care at Shannon's house. Meanwhile, the fox is back to full health, running and jumping around its enclosure. All the animals that remain at the zoo go on to be ambassadors for their species, allowing the people of Anchorage to see them up close, understand their nature, and help with the conservation of their wild neighbors. No matter what trouble the animals of Anchorage get into, there is always help nearby. Many organizations and individuals work tirelessly to rescue and rehabilitate any animal in need, giving them a new lease of life, either back in the wild or in one of the city's many refuges. There's no doubt this wild city wants nothing more than to protect its urban wildlife for generations to come.